Hi, I'm Michael Dresser. I'm one of the UK's most unique gay sex and intimacy coaches. And I've got a question for you. If you were offered the chance to receive exactly the touch you truly wanted right now, the kind of touch that would make you go, oh, yeah, that's amazing, would you feel confident about what to ask for? And it sounds like a pretty easy question, but when it comes down to it, it's one that a lot of us might actually find quite tricky to answer honestly. And should I ask for something that I think the other person will be comfortable with? Or what if they think what I ask for is stupid or weird? Or what if they say no to my request? Or what if they say yes and then I end up actually getting what I want? And do I even know what I want? And you might be familiar with some of this mind chatter when it comes to asking for the touch that you really want to receive. And so often when we're receiving, we settle for something that's not quite right. But receiving should be a gift. It should be something you really want. The trouble is, we've become used to many of the gifts we're given coming with strings attached. We've probably all experienced somebody giving us something because they wanted us to reciprocate or they wanted something in return. And something else that might be a barrier to you really feeling able to receive something is worrying that you might appear selfish or feeling like you're not worthy of receiving the gift of what you really want. But in my experience, full-hearted receiving, really taking in and luxuriating in it, is probably one of the best ways to achieve a feeling of self-worth and self-acceptance. So when was the last time someone gave you exactly what you asked for? No expectations, no bells and whistles, no helpful additions, no opinions, just what you asked for, nothing more, nothing less. Getting the chance to spend time receiving a gift that's for you alone, having someone else put their desire aside and attend to yours can be immensely healing, especially when it comes to touch. And you might be noticing that the idea of not reciprocating maybe feels a little uncomfortable. Just for me, all for me, without anything required of me? Oh no, that can't be right. As a way to avoid this discomfort, a lot of us jump straight back into giving in return without allowing ourselves a chance to really properly appreciate the gift we've just received. But when you build a practice of being quote unquote selfish and sinking into that space of deep, undiluted receiving, something special happens. You start to notice that there are things you really want, and you start to trust those desires and to value them and to get better at communicating them. In short, you start to understand that what you want really matters, which is huge. So how can you get better at this? Well, for a start, I recommend moving away from this idea of receiving what you want being selfish and instead start to think of cultivating a practice of what I call radical receiving without giving anything in return. And this might feel challenging to begin with, and it can often take a while to even figure out what you genuinely want for yourself, as opposed to what you think you're supposed to want or what somebody else wants you to want. So my first tip is to slow down. The best way to really figure out what you want is to wait. Give yourself time. Even though it might not feel like it, somewhere inside you will know exactly what you want. But it can take time to reach the surface, and there are lots of learned cultural and behavioural obstacles that can get in the way of that. And if you want a practical, hands-on way to keep practicing, I've got a great touch-based game that you can play with a partner, a lover, even a friend, which will help you to start noticing what you want, trusting those impulses, and experiencing touch exactly the way you want. So check out the link below to get the instructions, and like and subscribe to my channel to stay up to date with all my latest tips and resources.